Coach Prime was asked about coaching the NFL, and he said he would coach in the NFL under one consideration. Take a listen.
Seeing from the beginning of coaching my babies to the last walk in the end, you know how painful that is, man? To see that this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This may be it. And let me say this before y'all jump to it, because I know y'all gonna jump to it. The only way I would consider continuing is that I'm coaching my sons, plural.
Sons, plural. Matt, I heard that. I mean, I'm not a father, but I mean, you can understand why you'd say that. What are your comments on that? Go ahead, being a father yourself.
I mean, cool. I'm sure he'd love to coach both of his kids and run the whole organization and have nobody to answer to and just have unlimited funding. But that's not the reality of the world. He can only do that at CU, and the time has come for Shedeur doesn't want to play for his dad anymore. We've already talked about this. He brought it up. Yeah. It's time for everybody to branch out and go do their own thing and let Bucky private plane this motherfucker around the entire United States. Yeah. Coach Prime wasn't asked that question. He plays the media like a fiddle, and he's doing it again. He brought it up before they could even spit it out, so he controls the narrative. It's not happening, folks. Like, even I don't see how it could happen unless the Raiders pick Shedeur at 7. If he falls that low, which I can't imagine he does, they'll probably move up to get him. And then they pick Shiloh in the 5th or 6th and then hire Prime next year. But I
don't see it either.
You got to have your head coach in line to go do the draft and all that shit. They got rid of their GM. Maybe they go get Louis Riddick. Maybe this going to look. Do I think Prime's going to be the college football coach in Boulder for the rest of time? No.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's going to be there until time ceases to exist. But I don't think he's leaving this year, regardless of how many fucking just redundant, ridiculous, beat the drum stories there are on it. But again, he's the one that brought this up. So he's getting in front of it and setting the narrative on his own terms, which is what he does. He plays the media like the damn fiddle is in his pocket. So he ain't going nowhere. It's not happening. He's got a contract extension on his desk that I'm sure when he gets home from the Hula Bowl that everybody will be eager to sit down and talk about and all that kind of shit. And personally, he should be the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and one of the highest paid coaches in the country. I'd like to think that the NIL funding and the collective and how much money and support they can get for the roster, how much the administration will give him for his coaches. Everybody needs to take a step up this year. That's what happens when you win and go get a Heisman and shit. So I'm praying to God that the University of Colorado doesn't play this cry wolf or cry poor game and they go get all of this done. I don't know the specifics. Obviously, I'm not an agent, nor am I in the room. I was on the phone the last time when I was saying to hire the man. I have nothing to do with this. This is all just speculation and rumor based on the people that I talk to on a daily basis about all this bullshit. So, I'd like to think that in the future, it's nothing but bright skies in Boulder, bro. Prime's not leaving. I think the recruiting is just going to get better and better and better. The development is going to get better and better and better as they start this new NIL era where it's not just going to be name, image, and likeness. There's going to be a salary cap and the ability to keep kids under contract and pay them, so on and so forth. Then you're going to have to go back to the developmental coaches, and they're going to become even more important in that regard. So building relationships with your players so they don't leave when you coach them hard, rather than just saying, oh, you're a pussy because you want to leave because I coach you hard. Right. Build a relationship with the guy first, and then we can have, real man-to-man conversation. Like I posted this morning after the 5 a.m. group, but there's a lot of kids in Colorado that are good players that are scared to come work. And they're on the same team as some of these other guys, I'll be like, so player X, why doesn't player Z, who's got all these offers, come in and get some work, at least try it? He follows me. He's like, oh, he doesn't think he needs to work that hard, or he's intimidated by it, he doesn't want to fail on film, or like all these things that you look at the player and go, man, you're really going to struggle when a grown man has expectations at the next level. Right. So, that's my thing is it goes both ways. The kids, not all kids are pussies and not all coaches are badasses. Like, you got to meet in the middle here, and the developmental coaches need to really do a good job of building a relationship with the kids so they stay, so you can develop them. And the kids need to trust the coaches, and they could just – there's the next step in generation here on coaching and development and, getting paid and being a professional. It's going to start at a younger age, which I think is a benefit. And, I mean, I hope it all works out for everybody, but, if it doesn't, the transfer portal is just sitting there waiting. The transfer portal is going to become, though, like if you have an opportunity that's already mapped out, go to the transfer portal, okay? Tampering is going to be dealt with eventually. They're not going to just keep allowing the tampering to be as rampant as it is.
Agreed.
But if you just go, I say this now to guys, if you're just going to the transfer portal because you are with no goal and nobody that wants you, have fun sitting in the transfer portal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it's a lateral move, or maybe you're stepping down. It's almost like the JUCO thing. I have a couple seniors that don't have homes yet. And I was talking to him about it this morning. I'm like, if you can shelf your ego and this is the other thing. If your parents can shelf their ego, JUCO is now free eligibility land.
Yeah. It's a huge.
Go to Coffee Community or go to fucking Independence or whatever and play for 2 years and mature into a man and put better tape out there and, stay in the recruiting program here so I can push your film and be your consigliere and your agent when it comes to this. And let's see if we like you in 2 years. And 2 years from now, you'll have 4 or 5 years of eligibility left because you still get the red shirt. So you could be a 27-year-old senior out there just molly-whopping people if you do it right. But again, is your ego and your parents' ego and your social media persona, which isn't a real person, are all of those egos going to be able to step back and go, I really need to go this route? Or is it going to be like, that's not good enough for me because I want to post that I'm walking on at fucking XYZ? So I'm telling you, bro, college football is changing rapidly, and you either become a chameleon or I'm telling you, you're going to be a dead fucking tortoise on the side of the highway.
Amen. Adapt or die. College football is changing very quickly.